The number one thing that holds most people back and bothers most people today is procrastination. And the modern world doesn't help either. Procrastination is easier now than ever because endless distractions are just one click away. Procrastination feels easy in the moment, but the regret of wasted time haunts you later. When you look back, you feel the pain of wasted time. Time that you could have used to get the task done, but now you got other things to do. And the weight of unfinished tasks lingers in your mind, leaving you more stressed. I used to be a heavy procrastinator. If I were to scale it from a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I was a 9. I would push back things that I knew needed to get done. But now I have dropped from a 9 to a healthy 3. And yeah, there is a good level, a good kind of procrastination, which I'll get to in a moment. My goal in this video is to show you why you procrastinate, why procrastination is actually good sometimes, and how you can destroy the unhealthy levels of procrastination that is holding you back. I'm gonna give you 2 mental frameworks that are gonna help you break free so that you can actually get shit done. But first, you have to understand that every single human being procrastinates. Nobody is immune to it. We actually inherited procrastination from our great grandparents, basically our ancestors, because back then, procrastination was actually useful, especially for survival. Acting impulsively meant danger, but hesitating to act meant that you could live to see another day. What we call procrastination now was actually a survival tool back then. Delaying action gave people time back then to gather information, to spot any threats, and to make smarter decisions. For instance, back then, a hunter procrastinated to hunt at a specific location because it hasn't been explored and it's unknown. Procrastinating allowed hunters back then to have more time to observe instead of just rushing in. So they had more time to observe the landscape, to observe what type of predators are out there. That way they can know what tools and what weapons they need to use so that they can avoid being eaten alive. This was useful for survival back then. The problem now is that we don't wake up every single day and make decisions that are life or death, yet we still procrastinate excessively. Our goals are very different now compared to back then, where the goal was basically to survive. Now our goals are different and procrastinating doesn't help us. Instead, it hurts us even more. Now, notice how I say excessive procrastination, not procrastination in general, because there is a healthy level of procrastination that can actually help you make better decisions and avoid making costly, dangerous mistakes. A healthy level of procrastination helps you think things through before doing anything. My cousin is literally an example of this exact situation. 2 years ago, he had an idea of moving to a different state. He spent a few months doing research on what state he was gonna move to, and then he narrowed it down to a couple of options. And once he did that, he finally decided the state and the city that he was gonna move to. But before he actually moved, he decided to take a week off of work and go and visit the place in person. And then after spending a week, he decided where he was gonna move to, what apartment he was gonna move to. And after he confirmed where he was gonna move, he told us in May of that year that he was gonna move. And by July, he was already living in a different state. And this all happened in a couple of months, by the way. It didn't take him 3 years. He didn't act impulsively, which is no procrastination, and decided to move the next week. But he also didn't wait years to move, which is unhealthy procrastination. The goal isn't to get rid of procrastination completely, because like I said, procrastination can actually help us in certain situations in our life. What you need to do is differentiate between healthy procrastination and non-healthy procrastination. And the best way to do this is to first know what your goal is. Without knowing your goal, you're not gonna know whether what you're procrastinating on is healthy or not. Then identify the action that you're procrastinating on and determine whether that action is aligned with the completion of that goal. If it's not, then don't pay too much attention to it. But if it is, then there's no debate about it. The procrastination needs to end. And it is here when we have to go even deeper. If the decision is life-changing, that can turn disastrous if you do not think through it, then take some time to think before you act. Example of these are moving to a different state or a different country, quitting your job, getting married, buying a house, or investing your money. When it comes to examples like these, do your research first, but then once you do enough research, finally decide whether you're gonna act and do it or not. Now, if the decision is not something that can turn disastrous and it just feels hard to do in the moment, then you need to stop procrastinating and start acting. And examples of these are going to the gym, eating healthier, waking up earlier, making new friends, reading a book, cleaning your room, or building a brand. This is where you need to implement these mental frameworks so that you can eliminate these unhealthy levels of procrastination that are holding you back. Now, this framework is one that you probably have never been told that you can use to stop procrastinating. You know this framework is powerful when people like Aristotle and even the richest man on earth right now, Elon Musk, have used it to solve problems in their life. And it's called first principles thinking. Arguing from first principles means breaking down a problem to its core truths and then using those truths from the ground up to create a solution. First principles thinking asks, what is the problem? What are the most basic truths about this problem? And how can I use those truths to find the best solution? Let me give you an example so you can better understand first principles so you can destroy procrastination. Let's say you're procrastinating on going to the gym. Using first principles, the first step is to identify the problem. The problem may be that you are delaying the gym because you're thinking too much about all the reasons why it's hard going to the gym and all the reasons why it's much more easier and comforting to stay at home and not go. The second step is to get to the basic core truths. The most basic fundamental truths are: 1. You're hardwired to choose the path of least resistance. 2. You will get the body you want only if you train it. 3. Action creates momentum, not motivation. And 4. Your environment influences your decisions. The third step is to create a smart solution after finding out the basic truths. Since you know that you're hardwired to choose the path of least resistance and that your environment influences your decisions, then make the process of going to the gym easier. So lay out your clothes the night before, pack your gym bag and leave it near the door. Have your workout plan ready. Choose the gym that is welcoming and closest to you, and don't use your phone as soon as you wake up, or simply just work out at home. That eliminates all of the resistance. You literally will have no excuse after that. Have weights at home. That way you won't have any resistance, and you also have an environment that encourages you to work out at home. Knowing that you only get the body that you want through training, choose a method of training that you find interesting. So running may not be something that you find interesting. It may not be something that you actually enjoy doing, but boxing may be. So go to the boxing gym instead of running. Knowing that you create momentum through action and not by motivation, make the smallest commitment that you can make and take action on that small commitment. Tell yourself you'll only do 5 minutes, because there's a very high chance that once you're done with the 5 minutes of whatever it is, maybe that's a warm-up or some push-ups, there's a very high chance that you're going to continue want to work out. And then focus on the first step. Instead of focusing so much on how intense your workout is about to be, focus on what's in front of you right now, which is putting on your shoes, and then focus on the next step, which is putting on your clothes, and then the next step, which is warming up. Once you know it, you're already so deep in your workout that you're not even going to give up at that point. You're just going to continue. Using first principles thinking helps you create a plan that you could take action on to destroy procrastination. And you can literally use this on anything. I use that example of the gym because that is something that we can all relate to, but you can literally use it on anything that you're procrastinating on. When you start thinking in first principles, it will help you start thinking more about the solutions that you can use to destroy procrastination, instead of just blaming your lack of motivation or the distractions around you, which does nothing but make your procrastination even worse. After thinking in first principles, if you are still procrastinating, there is a simple but powerful solution that you can use to break the cycle. Think about when you're about to do something hard, like going to the gym, taking a cold shower, studying for a test, waking up early, or even going to a social event as an introvert. I already know what goes on in your head, which makes you procrastinate. You start thinking of the process and how hard it will be. You're laying on your bed, scrolling on your phone. You know you should go to the gym, but then your brain starts talking. Man, I don't want to go to the gym. I have to see which clothes I'm going to wear, then I have to change, and then I have to drive all the way there and pray that there is no traffic. It's Saturday, so the gym is definitely crowded. I have to do a boring warm-up. I'm already tired just thinking of all I have to do and go through. I just stay home. Now, instead of taking action, you're overthinking every single step, making the gym an exhausting task, and you haven't even started. You're procrastinating not because the gym is actually hard, but because you're exaggerating the difficulty of the process of going to the gym, and you're making the gym seem like so exhausting, and you're creating barriers in your own mind because of it. The solution is pretty simple. Think less, do more. Instead of debating with your own mind, take the first step and go to the gym fast. Because if you continue to debate with your own mind, it will continue to give you endless reasons why it's better to stay at home and not go. Because like, remember, I said, you're hardwired to choose the path of least resistance. And so your brain is going to always give you endless reasons why it's better to stay in your comfort zone than to get out of your comfort zone. And in this case, what's easy is to stay at home. Once you start doing the simple steps, you're going to build momentum. And once you build enough momentum, whatever it is that you're procrastinating on, in this case going to the gym, will feel easier and easier, and you'll be so deep in that you won't even want to go back. You're just gonna continue doing the task and just finish it. Like if you're driving already to the gym and you're halfway there, you're not just gonna all of a sudden be like, you know what, I don't want to go to the gym, and you're not gonna make a U-turn and go back home, because you're already like halfway to the gym. So you're gonna just might as well finish the task and get it over with. Now, one trick to make this even more effective, while you stop overthinking of the process, start focusing on the reward. If you go to the gym, start thinking of how good you'll feel, not only physically, but mentally. how much more respect you'll get, and how much more attractive girls will find you. I know that sounds kind of like cringe to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to the gym so girls can find me attractive. But if you focus on that reward, you're going to want to go to the gym instead of laying at home, getting bigger. Start small, think less, and do more. And watch procrastination become your bitch. Procrastination is literally the biggest killer of dreams in the modern world today. We have an abundant amount of sources to go to that makes procrastination even easier. Like I mentioned in the last video, the world has been designed now to keep you in a consumer state. If you don't destroy procrastination, it will destroy your life. It will kill your dreams, and then it will just leave you with regret watching others live the life that you could have built, but instead you procrastinated. But one thing I didn't mention in this video is how important focus is in helping you destroy procrastination. I didn't add it because if I would have, it would have made this video way too long, and I know how short our attention span is nowadays, and so I didn't want to do that to you. That's why I made a separate video where I go deep on how to focus so intensely you get more work done in 4 hours than others do in 1 week. Go ahead and check it out. I really do think it's going to help you out a lot. But anyways, that's all I got to say. I'm out.